up, guys? It's your girl Arsharae, and I'm back with another video. This is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta episode, season 8, episode 1. I'm not sure if I am going to hit on everything that happened in this episode because it was so much and it was 2 hours and it was long, and I was just like, oh my god, when is this gonna end? Like, it was, I guess because I had already had a long day and I had already reviewed 2 other shows. I guess I just was like, it's a lot. But anyways, I'm gonna share some things. I might skip over some things, so, but I'm gonna make sure I give you guys the gist of what happened in this 2-hour premiere. So basically, this episode starts out with Stevie J. He is in LA. It starts out with Stevie J. He's in LA. Apparently, he just up and moved to LA when he married Faith Evans. You know, they're talking about their marriage. They're talking about their ups and downs. Let's try this again. They're talking about their marriage, their ups and downs or whatever. Like, they were talking about how they've been friends for so long, and you know, and then that's when they decided to get married. But I distinctly remember her leaving him. I don't know if it was last season or the season before that, where she just felt like he was playing games or whatever, so she left him. And then now all of a sudden they married. So I was like, okay. But you know, I'm down for being friends first. Like, when you build a friendship with somebody, sometimes you don't want to ruin that friendship, but sometimes that's a good thing when you build a friendship with somebody and then y'all decide to be in a relationship or get married or whatever. And you know, sometimes being friends first can be beneficial. It can work out for you. So then we move on to Spice. She is performing. And then y'all, Tokyo pop up on stage. Tokyo pop up on stage popping and stuff. I'm like, girl, really? Like, of course we know from social media they've become friends or whatever. We know from social media that they've become friends or whatever since last season and that whole blow up. So she invites this talent agent or scout or image person, whatever, I forgot what he said, to see her performance, and Tokyo was like, isn't she amazing? And he was like, she's good, but she's not amazing yet. And basically, like, telling her she needs to change her image. And that she can't, just because she's international, she was an international superstar, doesn't mean she's going to be a superstar in America. So she needs to start over, basically, in starting with her look. And she felt like when he was saying starting with her looks, she felt like he was saying that she was too dark or whatever. And I guess that's when it starts her whole storyline of colorism and wanting to bleach her skin and all those things like that. So yeah. Then they cut to Mimi. Of course, it's the first episode, so they have to show, you know, what's going on in everybody's life. They cut to Mimi, and Mimi is on a 911 call about an incident where some guy broke into her house, was trying to steal her car, and when he saw her, he shot at her, and her daughter was in the house. So she meets up with Erica, Carly, and Rashida, and she tells them what happened, and she explained that her girlfriend Ty is in Israel, so that's why she wasn't there. And Stevie J up and moved to LA, so it's just her and Eva, and she feels like they're out there on their own. And then she showed them the video of the bullets in her car, and I was like, man, that's crazy. All right, like, I just couldn't imagine someone invading my privacy like that, invading my home, coming into my home, especially where my child is. It's like, how did he get in her garage? Like, that's my question. How did he get in there? So Scrap is back. He's on the show, but he's in a halfway house. So he's basically stuck in a halfway house because he does not have a blood relative that doesn't have a criminal record that can sign him out, because his mom has a criminal record, his brother has a criminal record. But later on, we'll see that they find a way around that situation. And then they cut to Mama D, and I'm just like, why do Mama D got her ass on this stage? Like she about to scrub for somebody. She need to sit down somewhere. I don't care if it's her birthday or not. I do not want my grandma or my mama up on the stage dancing. Like, I'm glad you happy. You look good for your age. Yes, Mama D, you look good for your age. And yes, you gave credit to your oh God, to your plastic surgery doctor, or plastic surgeon, whatever. But at the same time, you should not be up there on that thing dancing. So she's talking to Karen. Her and Karen are catching up. Karen is telling her that she told Karen that Scrappy, Bambi, and Bambi's mom are all living at her house right now until Bambi has the baby. And Karen tells her that Scrap is out of the halfway house. So she's like, oh, he's out, he's out. She's like, no, he's not out yet. He's just at the halfway house. And she was explaining how he can't leave the halfway house because they can't find anyone who doesn't have a blood relative who does not have a criminal record. But she also said that she had a plan to get him out of the halfway house, like he can leave for a little bit and then come back. So in the next scene, Carly goes to Mimi's house, and that's when she reveals that she's engaged. Tommy, they started talking about Tommy, and Tommy is going through some things. Apparently, Tommy went to her child's school and I guess was fighting her child or something, and she got charged with aggravated child abuse and some other things. And they said she's facing like almost 50 years, and I'm like, dang, that's crazy. But I guess because she already has like a criminal past or whatever, that could be a factor in that. Mimi tells Carly that Eva doesn't know that Faith and Stevie are married, and that they were going to, and they agreed that they were going to wait until Mimi met Faith and talked to Faith before Faith would meet Eva. But then in the next scene, and Stevie slime ball, because he still act like a slime ball. In Stevie J fashion, instead of him keeping the agreement, he tells Eva that him and Faith are married behind Mimi's back, and he brings Faith to the dinner or lunch or whatever after school meet up with Eva that is supposed to be for just him and her. And then he asks her how would she feel about moving to LA. And I like Eva's response, because she was like, you have to ask my mom, you know, the person who takes care of me. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, she ain't lying, because she was always with Mimi. And I was like, she is so cute and she's smart. And so kids know who really do things for them, and you can tell that she's really smart, and you can tell that Mimi is doing a good job, you know, raising her. Then he questions her about the gun situation, and she was like, please don't do this to me right now. You could tell that baby didn't really want to talk about it, but at the same time, she still she said she didn't want to talk about it, but she ended up still talking about it. He asked her why she didn't call him. And I'm like, why would she call you? Like, there's a man in the house with a gun. You all the way on the other side of the country. What are you gonna do? They on the East Coast, literally on the East Coast. You all the way on the West Coast. What are you gonna do? What would you have done? So I don't know what he was thinking in that moment or whatever. In the next scene, Spice is talking to her kids, and her kids are asking her like where she's at, why she's always away, why she's never there with them. And then she gets emotional and start crying. She's telling them, you know, I'm doing this for you guys. And her son asked her why she can't have a normal job like other parents, and I was like, damn. that's sad, and that hurts a little bit. And I understand what she's trying to do, but at the same time she has to consider her kids' feelings. And she said that she just wants them, she wants to make the best life for them. And I understand that, but at the same time, like, you also gotta make time for your kids. So Carly shows up to Spice's house. They're talking. She's like, "What's wrong with you?" And she was telling Spice how her kids are disappointed that she's not. I mean, Spice was telling Carly how she's disappointed that her kids are not. That her kids are disappointed that she's not there, and she was explaining to Carly her struggles in the industry, but she feels like and how she doesn't feel understood in the industry. But Carly was telling her, like, you can't change who you are. You gotta, like, just, you gotta be who you are. You can't change who you are. You made your career already by who you are, so don't change that for anybody. So they cut to the next scene. Mimi is talking to Eva, and she's talking to her about the dinner, and she's telling Mimi, like, the things that happened at the dinner. And she told her that Stevie J approached her, well, not approached her, but questioned her about moving to LA. And you could tell she was not happy about it. But being a good mother, she played it off. You know, she was like, "Oh, yeah, what did you tell him?" And she said, "Well, I told him, you got to ask the parent who raised me." And Mimi was like, "Exactly, good girl." And then Eva said, Evie said, "Daddy was like, who, me?" And she was like, "Not you." I just think Eva is just such a cutie pie. And then Eva drops the bombshell. Eva drops the bombshell that she met Faith, and Mimi is upset, which is understandable because they had already had this conversation. They had already had an agreement, and he still went behind her back and did what he wanted to do in Stevie form, in Stevie J fashion, because that's what he was going to do. Anyway, Stevie J is going to do what Stevie J wants to do. So Scrap gets to leave the halfway house. So apparently he has a half sister. Apparently this half sister is from his dad. And I'm like, so this half sister just gonna pop up out of nowhere? When conveniently at the time when you need to get out of the halfway house, and she's the only one that doesn't have a criminal record, because apparently even his dad has a criminal record. So I was like, okay. What? I don't know. Like, I believe it, but then I don't believe it. But it's like you can't really play the government, because the government gonna find out. So I'm wondering, did they have to have a DNA test, or what is the situation with that? And the crazy part about that, they called him as soon as he got through the door. They called, and he had to give his number or whatever, and he had to check in or whatever with the people. And like, it seemed like they always calling him. Then he questioned his mom about his sister, and he was like, if I never went to prison, I would have never met her. He would have never met his sister. And his mama basically was like, yeah, like, if you ain't went to prison, if you ain't need to get out of that halfway house, you probably would have never met her. And his brother, and he asked her, how old are you? And she was like 30. And he was like, well, I'm 32. I'm 30 as well. He's not 32, he's 30 as well. So he was like, oh, we ghetto twins then. We both the same age. And they started laughing about that. And then his brother was like, I can't remember his brother's name for the life of me. But he was like, well, you know, at least be grateful that you ain't boning your sister or whatever, that you didn't bone your sister. And they thought that was funny. I don't know why. So, and he found out his dad is out of prison, and he's going to be meeting up with his dad soon. So Spice feels like people, are trying to say that her skin is too dark, that the thing that she needs to change about her image is her skin. Don't know why she feels that way. And so she wants to lighten it, and she actually goes to a dermatologist to talk about lightening her skin. And I'm like, girl, are you serious right now? And she was serious. And the doctor told her there are risks, and she's asking her about all these famous people, whatever, and she was like, all those people, they're facing risk. And the doctor told her she was going to need a psychological evaluation, and that's when everything went left. Like, she started cussing the doctor out, saying she was going to find somebody else to do it. And the doctor was trying to explain to her, I'm not saying that you're crazy, because I'm not saying you need a psychological evaluation because you're crazy. I'm saying that that is a part of the process, and she was not trying to hear that. Like, she was like, no, ain't happening. I'll find somebody. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I'll find somebody else to do it. I'm like, girl, they probably gonna tell you the same thing, because everybody like gonna want to know why you want to change your skin. So Spice invited Carly to a photo shoot, and then she a whole new person. So we see this light-skinned person taking pictures or whatever, and then she speaks and she's like, hi Carly, it's me. And I'm like, what? I don't know. So I think that was the first time I saw Carly speechless. Like, Carly didn't say nothing. I think that was the first time I saw Carly speechless, because Carly was like, then Rashida and Mimi walk in, and they were asking her like what's going on with her. She said she's creating awareness for colorism because she feels like she's a victim of colorism. Everyone is upset with her, and they're telling her she doesn't need to bleach her skin, and like, it turns into this whole big old argument, and she tells Mimi that she doesn't know what it's like to be black, and Mimi was like, what do you mean I don't know what it means to be black? I am black. But I think Mimi like overreacted maybe just a little bit, because y'all know when Mimi get mad she start yelling and all this other stuff. But I mean, like, yes, we understand that you're black, but what she's saying is that she feels like she gets treated differently because she's dark. She's a darker complexion than a lighter complexion female. So they get into this big old argument. Everyone ends up, Rashida and Mimi, and wait, no, let me back up. She tried to compare her changing her skin color to Mimi's breast augmentation. And I'm like, girl, that's not the same. Yes, they're both cosmetic procedures, but it's totally not the same. You trying to change who you are completely. You trying to change your skin color. A breast augmentation ain't nothing compared to you changing your skin color. But I don't know. So, they got into a heated argument. It was crazy. Mimi and Rashida ended up walking away. Cardi was trying to talk to Spice and calm her down. And then that was the end of part one of the premiere. Then we go to part two. We have Shakana talking to Rashida and Kirk, apparently about their marriage and all their infidelities. And they're talking about how they rose above it and everything. And then after that, Rashida's talking to her friends, and she's telling them that she's finally ready to meet Cannon, who is such a cutie pie. She's finally ready to meet Cannon, and that's gonna happen very soon. Mimi tells them about Stevie J and his foolishness, and Shakana just gonna bust out, oh, pimping ain't dead. I'm like, bro, really? Like, you can always count on Shakana to like make light of a crazy situation, or to always joke about something to change the mood or whatever. Scrap is about to meet his dad. When he meets him, he being really standoffish, which I understand. But in a way, I felt like Scrap, I understand that he was mad, but I felt like he could have dealt with his dad a little bit better because his dad is sick. Like, I understand you got all these questions or whatever, but for you to treat him the way that you were treating him, and you know this man is sick, and you know that he can't really express himself the way he wants to express himself, you should have been more patient. Even though you were upset, you should have been more patient with him. That's how I felt about that situation. um he storms out. His brother comes out and tries to talk to him. Scrap feels like it's more to the story why his dad is just now coming around, which I think there's more to the story too. And he said he's gonna get to the bottom of it. His dad tells him that he loves him, and he's like, why do you love me? I guess he felt like because his mom did so much for him from prison, his dad could have done the same thing, and he didn't get those things from his dad. And I just feel like he's not ready yet to have a whole relationship with his dad. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. And I'm just like, VH1 has really been showing us like how our black men are broken, and I like it in a way, and I don't like it in a way, because in a way it kind of making it look like our men are weak, which they definitely are not. But on the other side, it shows that our men are vulnerable, and that they do have feelings, and that it is okay for a man to cry, because a lot of our men have been raised to that it's not okay to cry. So it's a 50-50 toss-up thing of them showing all these men that are broken, or that their childhoods have shaped them into these hurt adults, these hurt men, these hurt human beings who are basically still little boys on the inside, but in grown men bodies. um So, they cut to Carly and her man. I'm happy for Carly. Like, Carly got her a man. But apparently, it's some stuff gonna happen later on. But right now, I'm happy for Carly. I'm happy for her that she has her man, and that she's hopefully gonna get married. She's talking to him about the Spice situation. He was saying like, Spice is cool or whatever. He knows about Spice, but she tells him about the Spice situation. He was like, that's crazy. He didn't expect that from her. He gave her some advice of what she should probably say to Spice. And that was pretty much it. Spice says that Mimi and the other girls, she meets up with some more friends, her Jamaican friends. She said that Spice and the Mimi and the other girls don't understand what she's going through. And her friend asked her how did she come up with the song and the song that she was recording, and she gave her background story about it. And she told them that she feels like bleaching her skin would be better if she was in Jamaica, because it's more accepted in Jamaica than it is in America. And she feels like and she just feels like in America her career is not going to go anywhere unless she bleaches her skin. And she said in the Jamaican culture it's more accepted for you to bleach your skin, but not in America. But people are doing it, but they're just not talking about it. So, and she told her friend she's going to do it no matter what. And I'm just like, that's a big change. Like, you really, really, really need to think about that before you do it. And I just think she does need to get that psychological evaluation to figure out why you want to change your skin color. It can't just be because of people telling you need to change your image. When you talk about how you love your body, how you love your chocolate skin, and then you go from saying I love my chocolate skin to saying that I want to bleach my skin, like, it doesn't add up. So then they cut to Stevie J going to Mimi's house, and he talks about the robbery situation. And then he started like he's saying why she didn't call him, and she was like, what you was gonna do? And that's the same thing I'm saying. And then he was like, well, where's your girlfriend? I'm like, that's not your business. But she told him that he was in that her girlfriend was in Israel. And then he starts antagonizing Mimi, and she was mad, and she was addressed him about the whole Mimi and Faith situation, which in that situation I totally understand. As a parent, it was their decision together when their child was going to meet an outside person. Not saying that Faith will ever do anything to her child, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, that should have been a two-parent decision, a co-parenting decision, not just Stevie J's decision. So in this instance, Mimi is justified in being upset. Point blank, period. Nobody can't tell me different. Not on that. And Stevie J is basically a jerk. He said he could do what he want to do, and I'm just like, okay, Stevie J. He was, and then he gonna tell Mimi, she said F you. He was like, oh, I know you want to. Like, Stevie J is an asshole. I know you want to, but I'm a married man now. And she's like, get out, get your ass out of my house. And I was like, yeah, Mimi, you should have been kicked him out. So then they introduced Pooh Hicks, who is apparently married to this executive producer or something in the music industry, and they apparently have an open marriage. But to me, my first opinion of her is that she seems a little messy. Um, They're having their little girl talk. Sierra, they asked Sierra about BK. She said that they're together, but if he does one more thing, he's about to be out the door. And y'all, Erica is back. I was like, okay, Erica, it's good to see you back. I didn't think she would be. Excuse me. I didn't think she would be, but Erica's back. Stevie is talking to Faith about the Mimi and Eva situation. He reveals that Mimi did not know that Faith was going to be there because Faith asked him in that moment, but not before. And she was like, well, I didn't know that. Like, you should have told me that, and which is true. It's like he just want to do what he want to do, and it don't work like that. And she said she understood why Mimi was upset. It was understandable why Mimi was upset. It seems like Faith is all for meeting Mimi. She feel like they should meet up. And Stevie J said he don't think it's a good idea. I just feel like he's trying to keep them separated for whatever reason. I don't know why. But at the end of the day, if she's going to be around my child, I need to meet her. Point blank, period. And that is what it is. So Sierra and Carly are talking about the whole Pooh Hicks character, and Sierra was asking her why she didn't invite Pooh Hicks to her engagement, and Carla was telling her, you know, why she don't do the girl. She said she's messy and she's ready to, you know, she's trying to get married. She wants to be around people that value their marriage, and she don't want to be around messy people. She want to be around people that's not going to push up on her man, and that's not going to try to fill up on her man, and people that actually, you know, have a stable marriage, a good marriage. Like, I can't say Kirk and Rashida because they have, their marriage is good, but then they both have infidelity. So yeah, y'all gonna learn about that this season too. So yeah, she basically said she don't do her. She's a liar. She leaked stories about her sleeping with her about Carly sleeping with her and her husband, having threesomes and stuff. So Carly was like, nope, that's dead. I don't do her. I don't want nothing to do with that. That's that. So Carly was like, no. So I don't blame Carly. We go back to Scrap. Scrap feels like things with his dad aren't adding up, and he wants to talk to his brother. He talks to his brother about it, but no, he wanted to talk to his mom about it, and his brother was sitting there. And when the conversation started to get deep, his brother was like, okay, I'm gonna go. And then he was like, wait, where you going, bro? I want you to be here. And his mom was like, everybody always running away. So his mom explained to him that she found out that his dad was alive. Like, she got with his dad. They was together. She got pregnant. He cheated on her. She left. She went and got her own place. Then she got arrested and was gone for 18 months. And that when she got out, she was told he was dead. She didn't look for him or anything. And she just got back in contact with him 3 years ago. So she knew that 3 years for his dad, that his dad was alive, and she kept it from him. And she said that was her decision to make, and I don't think that's true at all. I think she was wrong. I think she should have told that man 3 years ago. And she was saying, well, you wanted to find out in prison that your dad was alive. But I'm like, that was not your decision to make. That was his decision. If he wanted to get to know his dad or not, that was his decision on whether or not he wanted his dad in his life, not yours. So, Kirk and Rashida are celebrating 19 years, and she's still talking about how she's ready to meet Cannon. Cannon comes in. He's a cute little boy. Rashida's trying to talk to him, and he's playing his phone, and he's like, stop it, and she say, oh no, you stop it. Or whatever. And she, you know, she's accepting him and she's getting used to it, but she's saying if he's going to be around here, you know, he's going to have to get used to being in her house and how she run things, which is understandable. And then she looked at him and she was like, he's 2, right? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, come here. And he's like, and she looked in his little pants, and he was like, like, he was like, you ain't going in my pants. And she was like, oh no, if he gonna be around here, he should have already, if he was in this house at 2 years old, he would have already been out of pull-ups. So, and then Kirk seems to have some questions about how Cannon is being raised. He's saying that Cannon is always with his grandmother or his great-grandmother. He's never with his mom. And his mom is always out partying and things like that. So, yeah, so maybe there might be a custody battle in the future. I don't know. We'll see. Mimi meets up with Stevie and Faith, and you can tell that she's upset, and about rightfully so. But in Stevie's J fashion, he wants to make jokes about everything. Why? I don't know. But Faith wanted to clear it up real quick that she did not know that Mimi didn't know that she was going to be at the little dinner with Stevie J and Faith. And Mimi says she believes that she didn't know. Long story short, because this video is getting really long. I've never had a video this long. Long story short, they talk about it, they hash it out, they end up teaming up against Stevie J, and Mimi was like she likes Faith because it seems like Faith is gonna Faith is gonna keep Stevie J on his toes. And that's what he needs. So basically they hashed it out, and I think it's gonna end up being Mimi and Faith, you know, really working to work everything out, and Stevie J just gonna do whatever Faith say. Basically, happy wife, happy life. So Pooh pulled up to Carly's store to ask her why she was invited to her engagement party. Carly basically told her what it was. She was like, I don't mess with you. I don't fuck with you. Like, the things that you said about me, the things that you did to me, I don't want you around. I don't want you trying to fill up on my man. I want friends that actually value their marriages. I want friends that can show me how to be a wife. And I'm like, okay, Carly finally getting it after all this time how old she is. She's trying to grow up and she's trying to be a better woman. So I can understand that. And that if a person don't want to mess with you, you can't be mad at them. You can't be mad if they don't want to mess with you. If they don't want to mess with you, they don't want to mess with you. Move on, keep it moving, and go on about your life. Like, you cannot make a person mess with you. You can't. And then she once Carly told her how she felt, told Pooh how she felt, everything went to the left. Pooh started saying how she did things with her and her husband. It was a lot of bleeping, y'all, so y'all know it was some nasty things that went down, supposedly, because Carly is denying it all the way. Don't know. They say Carly, you know, Carly is known for being a little thought box, but if Carly insisting that she didn't sleep with this woman and her husband, maybe she didn't. I don't know. But Carly went to go throw the register at her. The security jumped in the way, and that was the end of that. So yeah, basically, guys, that is it. That is episode 1, that 2-hour premiere of season 8. I think this Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season is gonna be lit, and you guys just stay tuned for more of my reviews. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.